Alright everybody, what is going on? This is Trey, aka CanTreGame, and welcome back to another long-awaited video. But this time it's going to be on a series I used to play on the channel, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels. Now, why are we here today, and what took me so long? If you guys are like a super OG, and there probably aren't that many, right? When I was playing Master Duel, was one of the first games I started playing on the channel, and then after I did a video on playing through story mode, the first impressions when it came out. I did a video on when I made my favorite deck at the time, the Rose Dragons, Kiza 5Ds, which is a deck I actually own in real life. So it was my favorite in IRL, so I ended up playing on Master Duel. So why am I here now? As you can see down here, they're having a first anniversary to celebrate the first year of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel's release, and with that came an event. I beat it all the way, so I got all the rewards, and with the deck, as you see here, I did it with my event version of the Gravekeeper deck. So you can see it's pretty different from the deck I showed earlier in the video. This one now has Effect Veiler. We got a Regeki in here. We've got 3 Mystic Space Typhoons. We got Torrential Tributes instead of Quaking Mirror Force. We still got the Storm Mirror Force. Being able to send stuff back in hand is pretty good. We still got our 1 Infinite Impermanence. Basically the deck, it went through a lot of changes, but this is what got me the win at the end of the day. So as you can see, we have our first match with a loss. We get 3 wins, we get a loss. We get 2 wins, we lose. We get 4 wins, we lose twice, we get a win. We lose twice, we win, we lose, we win. So the higher up we go, it gets very difficult. And as you can see, we've done in this event, we played against some platinum players, some gold players, silver, gold. We played against a platinum player, it didn't go well for us. Diamond, bronze. So basically our win ratio is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we got 12 wins and 10 losses. We played 20 matches in total. With that being said, I will show you all the replays. I took 10 replays and we're going to watch them all play out, and I'll basically commentate at the end of the video here. Actually I have 6. I don't want to make it too long. Right, so we'll start with the first one. These are all my wins, but as you guys can see, I don't want to be with a YouTuber where I show only me winning, which is why I went over the list and showed you guys my losses. But these are some of the most interesting duels, and wow, that was a good duel type duel that I had throughout the event with my Gravekeepers. Right, and that was that duel there. So you can see on my first turn I was able to get 2 Gravekeeper Supernaturalists on the board, and then I got hit by Super Poly, so I had 2 Dark Monsters, and he summoned Starman and Fusion Dragon, which only requires 2 Dark Monsters, so my stuff got tributed, which was looking pretty bad. But then I was able to activate the search card, get my Necrobelly Headman, Gravekeeper Headman to the hand, use its effect to revive my Spiritualist to the field, and perform another fusion summon to get another one on the board. And at that point, I was able to beat over the Starman and Fusion Dragon. Its effect, where when it removed from the field, all such summon monsters get destroyed, doesn't work on Supernaturalist because he cannot be destroyed. That card effect when Necrobelly is on the field. Then he hit me with a Regeki, but again, it cannot be destroyed by card effect. Didn't work, and it was kind of GG at that point. He activated that Blue Eye spell to revive a Blue Eye from the graveyard. However, Necrobelly does not let you move stuff out of the graveyard, so it got negated. And at that point, it was just, he was locked down and he decided to surrender. So that was the first duel. It was looking pretty bleak at the beginning, but we were able to clutch it out. So we'll go to our second duel. Right, so that needs no real explanation right there. Like I told you guys, Royal Tribute is a pretty busted card. So if I have a Gravekeeper or a Necrobelly in the field and I draw that card on my first turn, they lose all of their monsters, and by the time it comes to go second, all they have is spells and traps. They can't really summon anything unless they draw a monster, which is pretty rough. So that was pretty nasty to come back from. Any graveyard effect he had would have got negated by Necrobelly. And if he did summon anything, I had my Dark Hole and I was using it at this time. For this duel, I would have just played Dark Hole and destroyed everything on the field, but my Gravekeeper Supernaturalist to be able to hit him directly. And then I had my Necrobelly Tombs to negate any spell or trap or monster effect would have used. So it was pretty much, the deal was sealed the moment that card activated. Pretty hard card to bounce back from. But yeah, that was over in like a flash. If one did not want to play through that, which I don't blame him, I would have probably surrendered there too. And there we got another surrender. We wipe their board. Supernaturalist attacks their one link monster, goes to the graveyard. They activate a spell to leave add a monster out of the graveyard to wherever they're trying to move it. Gets negated because of Necro Valley. Uses a smashing ground and try to destroy my monster, but as long as Necro Valley's in the field, Supernaturalist can't be destroyed. And if you try to MSP my field spell, vice versa, the field spell cannot be destroyed. The Supernaturalist is off the field, so they both protect each other. And if you try to attack that Storming Mirror Forge, so yeah, it was pretty much too rough for him. And as you'll see, the thing with this Gravekeeper deck here is that even on the ladder, when I use my real Gravekeeper deck, usually the battles don't end with me dealing damage to life point. It usually ends to the opponent surrendering, because once they try to play and it just constantly gets negated, they just don't want to play through it anymore. As I said, name of the game with this deck, lock them out, don't let them play the game. Monster board negated by Necro Valley, and because it was also a spell card, right-handed magician negated it too. Went for the attack with the his fusion monster there, but as you guys can see, a Princess Illusion Magician effect kicked in from the hand. Toss it to the graveyard. Supernaturalist, being a dark spellcaster, gained 2,000 more attack, though they would just barely beat it over, so once he hit into it, it got destroyed, so we had more attack during the battle phase there. Activate Claw of Hermes, I think it was, to do a fusion summon. We flip over Necro Valley Tombs and negate him, and then at that point he surrenders once he played Dragon's Nails, but my monster the only dark monster in the field, so it ended up giving me the attack boost, and at that point he realized he made a mistake and he surrendered. Yeah, I think you can see that duel got pretty close. All the damage I took, along with the magic cylinders and all the burning with ceasefire. It was definitely a rough duel. And also at the duel, you'll notice that moments where I have the option to attack with they have no monster in the field, I didn't. And I kind of kept at least one monster in defense position most of the time when I go for attack because I didn't want to, you know, I was trying to be careful because the moment I used my first MST, I knew he had a Mirror Force in that deck somehow, so I was like, I don't really want to get my monsters blowing up there, so I'm going to be very hesitant to attack. Even when I had the open shot with no monster in the field, he had a bunch of back row, and it's like, that could be a Mirror Force, that could be in the Magic Cylinder, so I was being very hesitant to go for the attack, as well as take summons I had because of trap holes, seeing trap hole monsters, you know they're going to play trap holes in their deck, so it was very rough. And the only reason, or the only time I would go for a summon, like when I summoned my Gravekeeper Shaman to the field and he activated the bottom of the trap hole, the only reason I took a risk like that was because I knew I had Imperial Tombs on the field to negate it. So I'd only go for stuff if I had a negate or if I knew for a fact I would be safe for something like a Mirror Force and stuff like that. And Supernatural is immune to battle destruction or card destruction, so Mirror Force wouldn't have worked on it. I did make a mistake when he summoned the, I forgot the name of that rank 10 monster with 0 attack. I didn't realize it couldn't be destroyed by battle or card effect, so me reading Torrential Tribute, I knew that Supernatural was immune to card destruction, so I decided to wait for him to summon that monster and then prop it, and I knew I could survive a Torrential Tribute with the monster, but somehow it ended up happening to me instead. That was just me not reading my opponent's card effect, so my Supernatural got blown up, we were able to come back in the end and win. But yeah, very slow-paced game, very careful game. They were basically playing a control deck just like me, so I'm bound to be slow, but I had to be very cautious with the moves I made in that duel, otherwise it could have been the end of me there. Right, so that last duel there was the final duel of my event where I got to all the wins I needed to clear the event completely. Now, that duel was definitely the roughest duel I've had because throughout the whole beginning of the match, I was bricking like crazy. I had terrible cards, couldn't replay anything. Meanwhile, my opponent's able to play what they need to a combo off. So I was just having a rough time. My last card I needed to draw, I ended up drawing for Geki. I just had cards I couldn't play. My stuff was getting destroyed. I was just wide open for most of that duel. It just ended up being a terrible duel. But what ended up getting me to win there was knowing when to use my card, reading cards on the field, and playing very patiently. The main key move that brought me back into that duel there was, first of all, realizing that it's a Blue Eyes deck, and myself, I own a Blue Eyes deck myself in real life. I have a crap ton of Blue Eyes cards. So I know that whenever I see a Blue Eyes deck, chances are they're going for a Chaos Max Dragon. So me having Imperial Tombs, I knew what I was looking for was Chaos Form to ritual summon the monster. The moment Chaos Form was played, I knew that was something I needed to negate, because if he got Chaos Magic Dragon on the field, that would have been it for me. So I waited for that card there, and I decided to negate that one to stop his Chaos Magic Dragon hitting the field. And usually if you're playing any type of optimal Blue Eyes deck that runs Chaos Magic Dragon, you're only going to have one Chaos Magic Dragon in there, one Chaos Form, because playing more than one would be way too bricky. So I had a feeling that once I just negated that one card, we wouldn't be able to bring it out for the rest of the duel, and I ended up being right. And the next key play that happened there was when I was open and he got the alternative Blue Eyes White Dragon on the board. He did destroy my card, and he got a hit on me with one of the monsters. However, once alternative dragon uses that effect, he cannot battle the turn. That turn he uses it, so that's why when he did have a kill for me, literally had a kill with that monster, he didn't take it. He only attacked with one because since he used the destruction effect, he couldn't battle with it. The next thing that was pretty rough is once he summoned Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. That thing is pretty rough. When it's summoned, basically you can only, I think each player can only special summon or twice in one duel. So I couldn't really combo off in the Spiritualist even if I had the option, but I could because I was brick, but that just made it locked in even harder. So I had to effect Veiler that monster to be able to negate that, so I could do that. That was very rough. And then the opponent actually really did have a kill. Another thing that ruined them in that duel, which they could have won, I guess they got too cocky, was they used the Blue Eyes Fusion, which, if you don't know what the card does, it allows you to destroy cards in the field up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon used for its fusion. So let's use 3 Blue Eyes. He could destroy 3 cards, and I don't know, I think he only maybe used 2 blue eyes. I gotta look again. So either he used 2 Blue Eyes, or maybe that card just doesn't destroy face down cards. He destroyed my Necrobattle but did not destroy my Storming Mirror Force, which was kind of odd to me. So when he got Ultimate Dragon in the field and decided to attack, which is always a dumb move, and this is why it's such a bad move. Yeah, it was great to destroy a card in the field, but he had 3 monsters on the field that could have attacked, and instead he went for a, like, he had 9,000 damage in the field, but he decided to fuse into a 4,500 monster, which is terrible because you went -3 because you used the fusion card, and then you lost 3 Blue Eyes, but you got a monster back. So you lost the field, you lost your fusion card, and you lost 2 Blue Eyes. 3 Blue Eyes, but you got 1 monster. So that was like a -2 in card economy, I think, which is pretty rough. And then it got hit by Storming Mirror Force, but I guess he just wasn't afraid of my face down, which is why I tell everybody that I duel. When I duel, or when I teach someone to duel, I always tell them to, before you make a move, analyze the board, look at their face downs, look at their cards on the field, look at their monsters. Like, just be very patient before you make a move, because you never know what it is. And sure enough, he attacked into a Storming Mirror Force, which brought the whole duel back. And because he only had 1 Chaos Form, he couldn't bring out Max Dragon. He had a Black Luster Soldier in deck too, couldn't bring that out. So at that point, he was just drawing bricks as well. Me, I was bricking too. So then he tried to, I think his last ditch effort was summoning the Maiden with Eyes of Blue. And her effect is, if you target her for attack, she changes it. She negates attack, I think, turns defense position and summons a Blue Eyes out of the deck. And if you target her with card effect, it does the same thing, changes her position. And some of the Blue Eyes from out of her hand, deck, or graveyard. So basically you couldn't attack her or hit or target her with a card effect. However, this is why I say reading cards is super important in this in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, because her card effect reads, you cannot be targeted by card effect, and you can't target, and he like, no. If you target her with card effect, or if you target her for battle, then that effect activates some of the Blue Eyes. However, Regeki does not target. It only says destroy all of your opponent's monsters. It does not say target all monsters your opponent controls destroyed. Had Regeki said target, that effect would have popped off, and we got a Blue Eyes. But because I read that it doesn't, that Regeki does not target, I was able to Regeki her, blow up that card, and did nothing. So again, just key things like that, analyzing the board, knowing when to use the card, reading your opponent's field and resources, being very patient, and making the most optimal play possible can turn a duel that was that rough into a victory. And of course, I ended it off by bringing out my strongest monster deck, Quintet Magician. It requires 5 spellcasters, and if you deal with 5 spellcasters with different names, which they were all different, then it has the effect where it can destroy all of your opponent's monsters and spells and traps on the field. So I just wiped his whole field and left him right before an attack. He activated a trap card, which allowed him to destroy my monster, but Quintet Magician cannot be destroyed by card effect, I believe. So it was kind of immune to that, so it did nothing. And that was basically the end. So there was a lot to pack from that duel. It started off very rough, like I said, but just reading your cards, analyzing the board, and knowing when to use certain cards and make the right moves. We get you the win. And of course, like I said, I have a lot of knowledge on Blue Eyes deck because everybody plays them, and I own the Blue Eyes deck myself. I own a lot of decks, but Blue Eyes is one of them. So I knew what card I need to look out for being Chaos form. And on top of that, he had a spell on the board the whole time that has something to do with ritual monsters. So I was like, yeah, he's definitely got a Chaos Max Dragon in that deck. So Chaos form is what you need to look out for. Had I not used Imperial Tomb the turn I did on that Chaos form, and he was able to get Blue Eyes Max Dragon out, it would have been a loss. So that's all my duels. If you want me to look at the deck, just so we can see for sure. So like I said, 3 Blue Eyes, typical Spice Soda Legend, never used that. Maiden, again, as you see, when a card effect is activated that targets this card, again, target must be targeted, you can special summon Blue Eyes from your handy deck. When this card is targeted for attack, you can negate the attack, and if you do take the battle position, then you can summon blah, 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 blah. Right. But again, it needs to be target, and Regeki does not target. Regeki just destroyed. It does not say target monster and destroy. So that's why it didn't go off, even though it looked like it should have. And again, as you can see here, like I predicted, he only had 1 Chaos form. So the fact that I negated it meant that this card and this card could not be played because he had no ritual summon. He had no ritual card no more, so this was negated and destroyed. So these 2 cards were effectively dead in his hand. And had I not negated that 1 ritual spell, this would have been the end for me. So that was rough. This was the card he played to try to destroy my Quintet Magician. Loop of Destruction. Card's name becomes instruction on the field. On the field, once per turn, if a monster on the field is destroyed by a card effect, 7 damage. You can target 1 monster in the field, destroy it, and if you do, you should take 5 damage. Right. But like I said, Quintet could not be destroyed, therefore, when it did activate, it did nothing. And then we look at this Ultimate Fusion here. During your main phase, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as material. By shuffling the fusion material listed on it from your hand, fill or gave right into the deck. Then you can destroy face up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon used for its field material. So again, that distinction is what also saved me there. It could only destroy face-up cards, which is why Necro Valley, being a face-up spell, got destroyed, but my set, Storm Reinforce, did not, because it was set. It was not face-up, therefore it didn't destroy that, and that also was another key play that got me the win. So a lot to unpack there. Very good duel. I enjoyed this event. It was very fun. And again, if you want to look at my deck profile for this thing here, my event deck was this Gravekeeper deck, which again, I seen myself being the only one using a Gravekeeper deck in the event, and if so, the only one that I think was effective, because most people that use Gravekeeper decks don't really use them like effective, but that's okay. It's a pretty old archetype. So this was the one I won with in the end. I will warn you right now though, this deck is definitely to be used with caution, because as you saw that last duel, this deck has the potential to brick. The next, if not we do Master Duel, the next Yu-Gi-Oh based video I do will probably be me opening the Traptrix structure deck, because Traptrix again is another one of my favorite archetypes ever, and with them getting a structure deck, which I pre-ordered 3 of, I'll probably be doing a box opening of that on the channel. So when it releases and I get the deck box, I'll let you guys know. I'll upload a video. But with that being said, like I said before, until next time guys, peace out.